see if anybody's on here yet. Hello, Michael. Hey there from Michigan. Glad to see you on here. Looks like people are still joining up, so maybe I should tune my offending stream real quick before I play it again. This is such a fun solo we're doing today. Ain't Nobody Gonna Miss Me When I'm Gone from Tony Rice's Tony Rice Plays and Sings Bluegrass album. And go ahead and put your capo on the 3rd fret because we are going to play in G position, key of B flat. So if that doesn't make sense to you, it's just because G would be here, and then if you moved it up 1, it would be G sharp, and then it would be A, and then 1 more would make it B flat. So here we go. I'm going to play it again while people are getting joined up here. And I'll admit, this is not the easiest solo we've ever done, but it's very similar to the ones that we've been doing before. So you're going to have some repeat language and licks that you get to use that you've studied before if you worked on the other solos. And if not, we're just going to start from scratch anyway, so it's all good. I'll play it again for you. Fun. Such a cool solo, kind of weird, kind of off, has some stuff in there that little area is something that we have not looked at before, and I can't wait to get to that. It's weird and fun. So let's just start. Oh hey, we got a couple more people. Glad y'all are joining in. Please put your capo on 3, and we're gonna play some chords real quick. I'll play along with Tony so that you can get oriented in your head with the solo here. And again, this is just a solo workshop. We're not learning the lyrics. We're not going to sing. We're not going to sing the verses or go through the choruses. We're just learning Tony Rice's solo on this. So that's what we're doing today. Here's the chords for what the solo would be on. Here we go. G chord, so 1 chord, 4 chords. Back to the 1, G. To the D, 5 chords. Back to the 1, G. To the 4. To the 1, 5. Sweet. So if you've probably heard this standard before if you're into bluegrass, and if not, it's a super fun one to check out. Ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. Haven't we all felt that way at some point or another? So we'll go ahead and start. As usual, Tony Rice starts with pickup notes. And we're going to do our down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. For every measure, our hands kind of clocking away because we're flat picking. That's what style this is. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Always. Even if we skip we aren't playing a note during that, we're still going to move our hand. It's like our metronome. It's our internal kind of clock here. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Very important. That's a flat picking basic. And if you're kind of out of the habit of doing that, get some drills going where you just get used to doing that, where you syncopate yourself and just keep your hand moving anyway. Kind of like everybody plays a strum like this. And you see how my hand's still going down up even when I skip that syncopated beat? Ghost. Same deal with flat picking. So that's just the general basic of what we're going to do. Hey there, Danelle, Denmark from Georgia. Sweet. I'm assuming Georgia, USA. We are going to start with the pickup note here on beat 2. Before the downbeat of the 1 chord. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So beat 2 before the downbeat of the form of the chorus there. So we're gonna. This is a signature TR move here on our with our 2nd finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pinkies 4. Pointer fingers our first finger, with our second finger on the second fret, second string, we're going to muscle up, pull it up, and then pull down. So we're going to do that on beat 1, a nice strong bend down with a downstroke in the right hand. And then after that, we are going to pull off on beat 4, really quick. So pull off second finger to first finger, and you pull off from the second fret to the first fret on the second string. Cool. So that's the whole pickup there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Important, right? We have to grab that strong to sound like TR on this. Okay, that's the whole pickup there. Downbeat starts on this, what would be a B flat, fretted B flat, pretending this capo is the nut here. So we're going to do a down stroke with our right hand on that B flat. It's the 3rd fret, 3rd string. And I'm going to go ahead and slide it up to the, I'm going to slide it, first, as usual, he's going to stick a C in there. That's his lick. B flat, C, B flat, slide to B, G. So another way would be 3rd fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger, downstroke, up on the 1st fret, 2nd string, down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and slide on up to the 4th fret with a ghost up, G. So flat 3, 4, flat 3, 3, natural, 1. Why is that important to kind of hear the numbers in your head? Because this is very typical, not just bluegrass phrasing, jazz phrasing, rhythm and blues, surrounding the 3rd. He's playing the B flat, he's playing the C. The B flat is the flat 3, the C is the 4. I'm talking in a G chord or in a G scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Flat 3, 4, flat 3, 3, natural. See how he surrounds it? You can see it better if I were to play it here. It's just a cool move that accentuates that tension and leads your ear to that major 3rd. It makes you want it. And when you get there, it just feels satisfying. Nice little lick to start off on, especially after this power move here. All of that super solid, super powerful. And again, this isn't really a melody break. This is him just ripping and being a badass. And it's so fun to play. Okay, so next we're going to go, he's going to hit that flat 7, which is the 4th string, 3rd fret, and then the open 4th string, the D. So just typical kind of heading down that minor pentatonic feeling. There's a lot of this in Tony Rice. So, by the way, you probably can tell when we're going through these, I'm going to be doing ear training the whole time. My goal is not for you just to walk away with a recital of a memorized solo. It's more to learn how to analyze your own solos. So when you're seeing triad shapes and when you're hearing Tony Rice stuff, you just know what's going on. That's the ultimate goal. That freedom of the fretboard, that freedom of music, of knowing why somebody's doing something, and just feeling like you can easily emulate it without a piece of paper, without feeling like it's out there somewhere else. It's because it's in here. It's in your heart and soul. We just got to work toward it. It's already here in your ears. We just need coaching and direction, and we need, I don't know, cool solos like this with which to work on those skills and that knowledge there. That's the first lick. Down, 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 up, down, ghost up, down, up, down. Okay, so after we do that down on the open D, we're going to grab with an up. The next little lick here is this A, 2nd fret, 3rd string with an up, and then pull off with a ghost down. Okay, just pull off on that 3rd string. I have some students have a hard time pulling off and making a noise. Pull down a little bit if you have. It gives you a nice, clean, solid pull-off sound. Okay? Okay. Our next move is going to go to the 6. Major 6. E, G. So up on the 2nd fret, 4th string. Down on the open G, 3rd string. Open 3rd string. Okay, so what is this? That's a sweet little major pentatonic sound, kind of. He's kind of already heading in his ear toward C world, toward that 4-chord world, because he's going. And this is an example of my love affair with Tony Rice. Like, he just did a bunch of bluesy, minor pentatonic. You got that blue note there, the flat 5. It's all bluesy, but he never stays there, and he always keeps us guessing what's going to happen next. Just a sweet little major thing. La, 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 la. I love it. Okay. Play along with Tony nice and slowly so that you can hear where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So our next little bit, he really was heading us all the way to that C chord and staying there. Because the next move is going to be that pull off from the flat 3 to 2 of the 4 chord. And if that sounds like Greek, if that sounds like math grass to you, I want it not to eventually. I really would like for you to be seeing a 4 chord. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, C, E, G, fretted C. Okay, here's my 3rd. And then down just a half a step on that 1st fret, 4th string, is my flat 3 of this chord. Okay? So a very, very common move, not just in bluegrass, but in music in general, is this flat 3 to 2 sound. Okay? So maybe in the past you've learned solos and you're just kind of like learning notes and they sound cool. I want you to start seeing how they relate to the chord that we're in or that we're headed toward, because this is with a little C lick here. That's the lick there. So pull off from flat 3 to 2, pull off 1st fret with an upstroke to the open 4th string, to the open D, up, ghost down as I pull off. So up, ghost, up on the 3rd fret, 5th string. Flat 3, 2, 1 of the 4 chord. Okay, now a nice little run up the major pentatonic of the 4 chord. We're still thinking in 4 now, so we're going to do basically what's kind of like a C run. See how I outlined my 4 chord there? I'm going to walk up to the 3rd. Just a little chromatic walk up, down on the open D 4th string, up on the flat 3, 1st fret, 4th string, and then down, up, down on my major 3rd, my 2nd fret, 4th string, down, up on the G, 3rd string, down on the A, 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then up on my 2nd string, 1st fret. So the reason I do not always just say the note names for you guys is because I don't tab these out. I'm hoping you're going to learn by ear. Completely understand if you need to find tabs somewhere. It's just tabbing things out detracts for me from what the goal is here. All of my students now learn this way, by ear, phrase by phrase. And then I'm also aware that some people do not know their note names. So I'm just hoping that even, I can be inclusive for everybody. Maybe if you haven't learned your note names, that it's kind of like live tab here. You could listen in your AirPods while you're jogging and listen to, kind of visualize when I'm saying first fret, fourth string, etc. Okay, that's where we are. And then what we're going to do is slide down from the 3rd fret, 3rd string. We're going to slide down to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. See how that whole little package is a neat and tidy little 4-chord lick. It's a C chord lick with the flat 7 of the C chord. And that's a really common move for people when they hit the 4 chord, because that flat 3, it provides this tension because it's also the flat 3 to 2 of the 1 chord. So it's a very common move, I've noticed, over the 4 chord. Hear it? Okay, so let's loop this lick a few times, okay, this 4 chord lick. Actually, I want to make sure everybody's up to speed with what happens after that B flat there. We're going to do it down with a slide, ghost up as we slide to the 2nd fret to the A, down on the open G, 3rd string, and then up on the E, the fretted E, and that is the 2nd fret, 4th string, and then down on the 3rd string, open G. 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to slow this down even more just so you can hear it in context. You're gonna miss me when I'm okay, slow it down even more. So is this helping, having me slow it down a bit? By the way, happy to, if you chime in with any questions, happy to talk about anything you want to. Okay, so I nodded pretty heavily. That's where the 4 chord hits, like right in the middle of his lick. And this is very typical of Tony Rice. He often starts his 4 and leads our ear, guides us there. He brings this tension, and then the 4 chord hits, and he was already there in advance, and it just feels so good. And so it hit on that 3rd. Okay, so this one we've done in a lot of our past solos. It's a shell of the 1 chord. We're going to slide from the flat 3 to 3 up to the 1 of the 1 chord, of the 1 of the scale, of the key we're in. So you can visualize this triad. 3, 5, 1, 5, 3. Or you can just follow the notes here. 2nd finger slides from the 3rd fret, 3rd string, to the down, ghost up as we slide up 1 fret, and then down on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Okay? So let's play along. Down. So he's leading us to the 5. Do you hear that? How I ended on that? Okay. Sorry. Mountain Girls Lick. Cool. That one is very similar to a lot of the Tony stuff that we've done in the past. Okay, so he's leading us up here to this 1 3rd fret 1st string with our 1st finger. Now we're all teed up to get back into this minor pentatonic feeling of the... I hope y'all can see me okay. Let me know if I'm too far away, by the way. I just realized I might be a little bit far away for you. So, okay, let's head on down that minor pentatonic. 1 flat 7. Okay, this is let's just start by doing the first 3 notes of this lick here. We did this. Okay, now we're going to do a down the minor pentatonic for 3 notes. Okay, visualize this scale. Just like scale you probably learned at your first guitar lesson. If not, it's the minor pentatonic, the G minor pentatonic starting on the 3rd fret. I'm always trying to look for shapes for you guys to visualize, so it's not just notes in a void, notes in a vacuum. So again, so for down 1st fret, 1st finger, 1st string, 3rd fret, up with our 4th finger or pinky on what would be the it's kind of hard because the dots are out of place. 6, the 6th fret. From the capo, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So down, up, down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Okay, so you did that. Now he's going back to the top of this minor pentatonic scale with an up. He's going up to that flat 3 on top of the 1. So up on the 6th fret 1st string, down on the 3rd fret 1st string. Okay, so now it should be a little bit clearer as we go. Nice little straight path down the line of the minor pentatonic scale. So down on the 1st, we ended with that down on the 1st finger, 3rd fret, 1st string, up on the 6th fret, 2nd string, down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, up on the 5th fret from the capo, 3rd string, down on the 3rd string, 3rd fret from the capo, and then an up on the 5th fret, 4th string. So da 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 da. So that little lick is. That's where we are right now. Let's kind of loop that for a second. Nice and slow. Okay, now get ready for one of our very typical Tony moves here. We're going to bar with our 3rd finger on that 3rd string on the 5th fret. We're going to hit the 4 note, the 4th scale degree here, and then come back up. My finger's barred, just showing you here. It's barred across here. Down on the 5th fret, 3rd string, up on the 5th fret, 4th string, we're going to go into our surrounding the major third territory. So down, up, down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, slide up to the major 3rd, 4th string, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 3rd string, down on the 3rd string, open G. Okay, let's listen to it in context. It's kind of hard to learn that stuff in a vacuum like that. Okay, so after what we just did, I ended you on the G. I need you to do this flat 7 to 5, which is the 3rd fret, 4th string, with an up, and then a down on the open D, the 4th string. Down, up. Okay, now just for emphasis there, he just grabs the up on the open G, the 3rd string, and then nice strong down on that D string, that 4th string open. And what's the point? I'm kind of a believer, having learned a lot of these, having kind of been through Tony's solos. He's feeling and he's flowing. And he's adding some of these extra little, because in time, he knows that he needs that extra beat there, up, down, to get where he's going. So a lot of this improv kind of centers around this mentality. You're in a free flow, but you kind of know what notes you can use if there's extra time, or oh, there's less time than I thought when I was using that phrase, and so then you kind of morph it instantly. And I feel like that's probably an example of that mentality, because he just played that D, but he's like, oh, I need another beat to get to my 5 chord. Because that D, kind of uncharacteristically for Tony, he just goes ahead and hits the root of the chord right on the downbeat. He doesn't often do that. A lot of times he's leaning it in or sliding in, you know, there's anticipation, etc. You can hear the bass go 5 right when he hits that. So that's a nice time to orient yourself with this phrasing, because the rest of the phrasing was a little bit slippery and slidey. So here you are getting to just like nail that 5 chord with the root of the 5 chord. So our next move, hope everybody's feeling good, feeling like we kind of got this. And if you don't have it on the guitar, it doesn't matter. You're ear training and you're kind of hearing some of Tony's language here, which is worth a lot. So there we go with this same thing we've done probably 2 or 3 times in previous solos in the past 5 weeks. He's doing a shell of the 5 chord. He's sliding up to the 3rd of the 5 chord. There's the 5 chord. Do, 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 do. Or open D. Fretted open D. With the capo, it's called open D, right? And then the 3rd is here. It would be an F sharp and then an A. Okay, so visualize that. Do you see this triad here? Okay, always be thinking in your grid. Your available chord tones are right there in the triad, which is a fancy term for the 3 notes of the chord. And he's going to slide into that 3rd of the 5 chord. And then hit the nice 1 up there on top. That's why I showed you this inversion. It's called the inversion because the one jumped from here to the top. So it's inverted once. So point is, we're visualizing that, and we are sliding into the third with a down, and as we slide down, we're doing a ghost up as we slide up from the third to the fourth fret. Down, ghost up, and then down on our D, third fret, second string. And then we grab that F sharp right away. See how it's right away. Down, up, slide with a ghost down. I just grabbed that, what would be F sharp again, my fourth fret, fourth string. Up on the fourth fret, fourth string, ghost down as I slide 2 frets down to my second fret, fourth string. And then with my up, I immediately grab that C, that first fret, second string. And then I went ahead and grabbed that again, right? Up, down. What is that? Why is he sliding there? Because he's taking our ear to a dominant 7 sound. You know how in the 5 chord, our 7 is a flat 7. You see a D7 all the time. A D7. When it says 7, not major 7, it means there's a flat 7. So he's going ahead and giving us that dominant 7 sound. He's not giving us the whole thing, he's giving us a shell. So it's a nice little ear twist. Because that E is like a 9. And then that 7 is our dominant 7. Up, down. So we do another up, down on that GD. And let's just check with Tony to make sure. Okay. Yes! Now we're getting to the crazy part, fun part. So you hear him slide as he does that. And just to make sure you're caught up, after we do that shell of the 5 chord to the kind of shell of a C chord, of a dominant 7 feeling. Okay, down, ghost, down, up, ghost, down, ghost, up, down. Down, ghost, down, up, ghost as I slide, up, ghost, up, down, up, down. That's up on the open 3rd string, down on the open 4th string. G, D. Now, did you see how I slid? If we're gonna just play it like Tony, we gotta slide as we're hitting those open notes. You can hear he's getting ready for his next lick. Kind of makes me believe what I read in the book Still Inside, that he kind of planned this solo out in advance, possibly. He said that when he was recording, he did a lot of that. And I think it could be. This little lick we're about to do is one that he uses in another place. I think it's Will You Be Loving Another Man? And so I think he's planning. He's going ahead, he's planning. Yeah. He slides, he hits that open G, D, and then he's going to do this thing. So let's get our ear ready for this. Okay, this funky little lick you are not going to hear in your head overnight unless you're just super quick with ear training. Gone over this in my head a few times trying to make sense of what I think is going on, and I've finally kind of come up with what I think is happening here. So picture your 1 chord here. It's easier to see it as a B flat, really. Like It's on the 13th fret if there were no capo. And that's where my root is. So I've got 1, 3, 5. So the flat 3 is right here. I think that's what's going on here. 5, flat 3, 2. Once I heard that in my head, it all mapped out and made sense for me. Like at first it just felt kind of, honestly, it felt a little bit random, these notes. It sounds super cool, but I was like, I always need to find a pathway to what's actually happening in order for my, I guess, to internalize it and to make sense of it. And I believe that's what's happening. He's thinking 5, flat 3, 2, kind of like when we were down here in the C chord. See what I mean? 5, flat 3, 2, 1. So here it is up here. Right? My pinky is where the C root would have been. So that's our first move. And then the next thing, if I'm just kind of analyzing this real quick for anyone who cares, is 5, flat 3, 2, and then a little chromatic move down to the 5. Flat 6, 5, flat 6, 5, and then weirdly back to the 2. That's where my ear is like, huh? 2, 4, 2, 1, 5, flat 3, 2, flat 6, 5, 2, 4, 2, 1. That's the lick. Super tense. Super fun to hear. Super tense. I get why he did it. At first I was a little bit weirded out by it and kind of couldn't internalize it at first, and now it's in my brain. So ear training is going to be your best friend on this one, just because da, 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 da. Hearing that 2, 5, flat 3, 2, flat 6, 5, 2. My brain doesn't want to go back to the 2 there for some reason. Flat 6, 5, 2, 4, 2, 1. And I'm guessing there are people out there with a totally different fingering from this, and they're probably right. But this is what I've come up with. Hey there, Joseph from Mesquite, Nevada. Awesome. Oh, I've got some comments here. Hey, Billy Wolf. Hey, Dixie Hagen. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's go through this real quick. And I'm trying to decide if I should now just use the real fret numbers, because it is really hard to visualize with the capo what this would be. So, mental note, we are now switching to the real numbers of what, not the capoed fret numbers. So, 10th fret, 3rd string, with our first finger up on the 11th fret, 4th string, and then down, just 1 fret down on the 10th fret, 4th string, 10th fret. Down, up, down, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger, 10th fret, 3rd string, up on the 11th fret, 4th string, down on the 10th fret, 4th string. And then we're going to do an up with our 2nd finger immediately and grab that 11th fret, 3rd string. And then we're going to go back to, with a downstroke, to the 3rd string, 10th fret. So, da, 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 da. Make sense? You can slide if you want. In fact, I probably would slide down from the 11th to the 10th fret on that last little bit. Down, up, slide with a ghost down. Now, here's the hardest part of grabbing this quickly. I kind of have to tilt my fingers to do it. My 4th finger is going to go ahead and grab that 10th fret, 4th string. Okay, that 2 at scale degree 2. And then using that new position, because I used my third finger there, I get to go down to a different position. So now I'm based on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th fret up from the capo. So the 6th, really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so using that position now, my new position, I'm going to go down on that 3rd string, 5th fret up from the capo. Down, and then up on the 7th fret up from the capo, or 2 frets up from where we were just playing. So the 10th fret in real life without a capo. Up on the 4th string, 10th fret in real life, 7th fret up from the capo. And then down on the 5th fret up from the capo with my first finger on the 4th string, 5th fret. See, it's really not as hard as it sounds. At speed, it sounds crazy and hard. Let's do it slowly a few times. Down, up, down, down, up, slide with it goes down, up, down, up, down. Closer for this. Down on the real 10th fret with my first finger, 3rd string. And then second finger is going to hit that 11th fret in real life. No capo. Up, slide. Lean my finger in, my 3rd finger, and do an up, down on the 5th fret up from the capo, up on the 7th fret from the capo, down. The hardest part about that is remembering there's going to be a position shift. Okay, with my 3rd finger, I'm grabbing this, and then I'm shifting positions to get that down with my first finger on the 5th fret. And then my 3rd finger grabs the 7th fret up from the capo. It's a lot of time on that one lick, I know, but that's the most important lick for, most important part for getting this next part. Excuse me, part. Excuse me. The next part's super fun. Excuse me. Got something caught in my throat. That's where we were. Now we're going to grab an up on the 3rd string, 7th fret up from the capo. With an up, we're going to slide up, ghost as we slide down, ghost down as we slide down 2 frets. So 3rd string, 5th fret up from the capo. Up on the open G. So after this lick, okay, that's where we are. Up on the 7th fret, 3rd string. Slide down as we, goes down as we slide down 2 frets. Up on the open G, 3rd string. And then downstroke on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. Up on the open G again, and then down on the flat 7. So the 4th string, 3rd fret. That's easy for me to hear. Like once it got back to that territory, it's super easy to hear because now we're going 5, 4, 1, flat 3, 1, 7. She's kind of back into minor pentatonic ear training territory. Excuse me. So does everybody have this? Cool. All right. I'm assuming everybody's just nailed it and we're going to move on. let's just make sure with Tony and Bro. So here we're just back into regular Tony Rice language that our ears are more used to. And then do a ghost down as we wait for the next lick. Up, ghost, up, down, ghost, up. We just did a ghost down and we do it up on that 3rd fret, 3rd string. Slide up to that major 3rd. Ghost down as we slide. Up, slide up to the 4th string, 3rd fret. 3rd string, 4th fret. Up, slide. Ghost. Little bit harder to hear because that lick does start on the offbeat there. Up, ghost down, slide. Up on the open G. Down on the 5th fret up from the capo. Up on the 3rd string. And then down with our 3rd fret, 3rd string. Flat 3 to 3. So downstroke on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Slide up 1 fret to the 4th fret, 3rd string. And then hit that open G again. Ghost. That's where we are right now. Ghost. Next move is you're up on the 7 to 5 again. Do you see how common this is for him? That's the 4th string, 3rd fret, with an up, and then down on the open D. Open D, fretted D, 4th string. So there's that little lick. And then quickly grabbing up on that open G, and then we're going to do that shell of the 1 chord again. Okay, so do you remember this? We did it earlier in the solo. The chord tones are 3, 5, 1. We're picturing this triad. And we're going to slide into that 3rd of it. 3rd fret, 3rd string. Slide with an up ghost as we slide. And then down on that G, the fretted G. The 3rd fret, 1st string. So that whole little lick is ghost. Nice little G language, bluesy G language. It's just important to hear that downbeat as a rest before we start the lick. Down, up. Keeping going. Okay, that's pretty much the same lick that we did earlier in the solo, but we will go through it again. And just to confirm with the great TR. Okay, well there's a teeny difference. When he did this, he does kind of bar and give us a little double stop there. Okay, but let's go through the whole lick, and especially for those who are just joining up, or maybe if you only learned half of the solo earlier, we will just go through it again. So. Did you hear me do that little double stop? So do you remember we were thinking in minor pentatonic. The minor pentatonic that starts on the 3rd fret. walk the first 3 notes down. 1 flat 7 5. So down on the first string, 3rd fret, up on the what would be 6th fret up from the capo, up, 2nd string, down on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and then we're going to do an up on that 6th fret up from the capo, pinky, 4th finger, 1st string, and then back to that 1, and that is the 1st string, 3rd fret. Okay, that tees me up for just walking down the minor pentatonic, kind of straight down it in a line for a moment. So he goes 1 flat 7 5 4 flat 3 1. So I'll walk you through that. We had ended up on this. That's where we stopped. Now I'm going to go through. That was a down on the 1st finger, 3rd fret. Up on 1st string, 3rd fret. Sorry about that. Up on the 6th fret up from the capo, 2nd string. And then down on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then up on the 5th fret up from the capo, 3rd string. And then down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. And then up on the 5th fret up from the capo, 4th string. Okay, here comes that little, he kind of hints at a double stop here. And that's a typical kind of bluesy move. So we're going to bar for that little hint of a double stop. And we're just going to do a down. So I'm just barring with my 3rd finger on that 5th fret up from the capo. And then I'm going to do an up on that the 1 note, the tonic, the 5th fret, 4th string, 5th fret up from the capo, 4th string. So bar with a down, up on the 5th fret, 4th string, and then I'm going to slide from flat 3 to 3 again. It's a theme here. 3rd fret, 3rd string, slide up to the 4th fret on that 3rd string, and then just making sure. Yep. That's what we just did. And then we're going to do this. So once again, we are hitting this 5 to the flat 7. And we're going to do an up on that open D, the 4th string. And then we're going to hammer on to our 3rd fret, 4th string. And then an up on the 4th string. And then down on the open G. So that little lick is, so up, goes down as we hammer on, up on the 4th string, down on the 3rd string, the open G. There's a little girl in here. I will tell you where it is. Come here. What? Sorry about that. She's looking for something. Okay. Then guess what we get to do? We get to do one of these very typical. Do you remember this? We've done it in How Mountain Girls Can Love, Teardrops in My Eyes. There's another one we did it in recently. Oh, the Thinking About You. This is that wonderful tag lick that starts up on the. So you picture this. You need to picture your 1, and for our purposes here, we're going to go back to thinking. I'm going to explaining in real fret numbers because it's too confusing to go up from the capo. But so you have your 12th fret. You would play what looks like a D chord, right? Play it on the 12th fret, and then move it down 1, and you'll see there you are in your position, your 1 position. So he's been tagging a lot of these solos I've been choosing with this position up here. So we need to be able to quickly grab it, even if capo's on 3. We need to know where our B flat is. So just like when we play a D chord down here, our 1 is on the 2nd string. The root note of the D chord is on that 2nd string. Okay, so maybe we can even walk it up. D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. That's another way to find it. But just, it'd be nice if you could try to remember that the 12th fret is a B, because it's the same as the open string, and then take it down 1 to know that that's a B flat. So now you're visualizing a D chord up here, and you're seeing this whole shape, this grid. I think in the caged system, I don't do the caged system, but some people do, and they call this the C shape. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. So you are now visualizing where you're headed, and we have 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. This lick starts on the 5th of the 1 chord, so it's going to be up there on the 13th fret, the real 13th fret, with the downstroke. Sorry, I need to listen to the lick real quick to remember. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4. That's a cool lick. 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 4. Isn't it pretty? I think that's this version. He changes it up. Every solo, we actually have a little variation. So you, right when you think you've got it, you learn a new solo and it's slightly different. So that's what we've done so far. Okay, I haven't walked you through that yet, so let's walk through it together, okay? We're gonna grab with our pinky, our 4th finger, 13th fret, real 13th fret, down, and then up on the 11th fret, 1st string, down on the 10th fret, 1st string, and then up on the 2nd string, 11th fret, and then down on the 10th fret, 3rd string. Down, up, down, 13th, 11th, 10th, now 2nd string, 11th, and then 3rd string, 10th. And then, unexpectedly, with our pinky, we grab 13th fret, 4th string. So this is some beautiful Tony Rice composition in my brain, because most people would kind of outline the arpeggio there. They'd go, at least I would, because I'm boring. Tony Rice is not boring. What is all that? It's just beautiful suspension. The 4-3 here. 4, 3, 1, 5, 4. Again, we're like, ah, that 4. We're suspended. We want more. It just feels like so satisfying to listen to. Satisfying yet tense, which is great. That's his next move, to kind of go bluesy there. Do you hear that? That's it's a flat 7. See, you can see it here. It's 2 down from the 1, but here it's harder to see. But it is the dominant 7 of the 1 chord. And so with my pinky on the 13th fret, 3rd string, I do a down, and I go ahead and bar that with my pinky. So I'm just showing you, all that matters right now is that my pinky is barring that 13th fret. And I'm going to do it down on the 3rd string, 13th fret. And then I'm going to do it up again on that 4, scale degree 4, which is the 13th fret, 4th string. And And then I'm going to, with my second finger, play the 11th fret, second string, the downstroke, and then back to that dominant 7, which is the 13th fret, third string with an upstroke. So giving you some context, we are back to this. Isn't that fun and gorgeous and cool? I just think it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And then back to more 4/3 tension here. Isn't that gorgeous? For me. If you ever learn solfege, that hanging sound of the 4. It's this beautiful, beautiful technique Tony's so great at to leave us wanting more. Tense. Okay, so I'll lead you through that. 11th fret, second finger, 11th fret, first string with a downstroke, and pull off to the 10th fret and do a ghost up as we pull. And then we're going to hit the second fret, 11th fret, second string with a downstroke. And then we are going to play the third string, 10th fret, with an upstroke. And that's just a, from the flat 3 to 3, 11th fret, 4th string, pull on up to the 12th fret with a ghost up as we pull, slide up, and then a down on that open 3rd string, that open G. And then a G run. So let's just play along with Tony for a sec, make sure I'm not messing this up. Yes, okay, so verifying everything I just walked through was correct for this solo. This. So for some reason, I go ahead and grab with my third finger that flat 3 to 3, that 11th fret, 4th string to 12th fret, 4th string. I don't know why I do that. I think it's just an anal idea of being in position. Because here's my position. So in my mind, since I'm sliding up to that third, it just bothers me to be out of position and grab it with my second finger. So I grab it with my third finger, and I slide up with a ghost up, and then I do an open G, 3rd string. So this is super key for getting down the neck to that G run, and I might add super useful in future soloing and improvising. If you're up here doing a bunch of licks, going ahead and grabbing this, going ahead and grabbing that open G after you do it. And yes, Alan from Australia agrees. Right, Alan from Australia? It's gorgeous. Or are you talking about this whole riff here? Okay, so let's just internalize that. Remember to practice improvising on your own with these riffs. Don't just do the solo note for note. Practice, put on a drum machine, put on whatever, and hear the chord changes in your head. Practice playing licks up here and then shifting down to first position with this language from Tony. This flat 3 to 3, open G as our transitional point to get down. See, I have all that time, one beat, to move my hand down to first position. Here I am. I'm ready for my G run down in the first fret with a capo on. So So in case you don't know a G run, just walk through that really quick. What is a G run? Just outlines the G chord, walks up to the third. So there's my flat 3 to 3, and so that's going to be first fret, 5th string with an up, and then I do a goes down as I slide up to the 2nd fret, 5th string, and then I do an up on the 4th string, the open D, and then I do a down on the E, the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then an up on that open D again, 4th string, and then a down on my open G, my 3rd string. All right, we did it. Any questions? We made it in a little over an hour. I was kind of worried this one might take too long in case I went off on a tangent about my love affair with some of these licks, but I kept it under control. So thanks for following along with all this. What fun. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to put the solo on kind of really slow, you guys to play along with once you've finally gotten it. And also, don't forget, I'll be doing these every Wednesday, at least for the next couple weeks. I have it marked off. I think next Wednesday we will do a Doc Watson solo, possibly, Long Journey Home, from the Dave Grisman Home is Where the Heart Is album, or we will do Tony Rice, his solo on Way Downtown. Maybe just his kickoff this time, because that has enough sneaky language in it that maybe we'll get to the actual solo later in Way Downtown for another one of these. But super fun. Thank you so much for joining me. I really look forward to these. And don't forget to tip. I have it set up where the tips will go to Chesapeake Bay Foundation. And I'm just happy to be able to talk about Tony for an hour a week with you guys. It's a real treat for me. So just an honor to be with you. Thank you. So I'll play this so that people in the future who have learned it have something nice and slow to play along with. There ain't nobody gonna miss me when I'm gone. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Realized I forgot to grab that little, the second time he does that lick, kind of grabs a little double stop there. So I'll do it a little bit faster for you. Strum here. I think one of you guys pointed out he always does those little punctuating little exclamation points at the end of the solo, so make sure you learn those too. That's how he does that one, with like a little hop. I'm going to do a little bit faster, and this time I am going to remember that double stop in that bluesy lick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. smirked a little bit because I finally remembered to do that double stop. Speed it up for those. I'm just giving different tempos to practice along with. It'll be fun later. I got distracted. I tried to do the double stop on that one. We'll try it one more time. Okay, what do you think? Do you want a little bit faster to practice with? I'll just do it. Why not? We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I forgot the double stop on that one. It's going to be a challenge for me to remember on this one. I'm going to speed it up even more. Remembered it, so maybe I'll end on that good note there. So happy Wednesday, have a great weekend. I will see you guys right here 7:30 Central next Wednesday. I can't believe it's going to be May already. So have a great week, and thanks for being here. Had a great time. Let me know if y'all need anything. Bye.